Hello everyone! 2025 is officially coming to an end today, which honestly feels a little surreal, but that means it's finally time to set up my journal for 2026. For 2026, I'm keeping my setup quite minimal, and since 2025 has been a pretty tough year for me, I decided to start by looking back before moving forward. I'm beginning with a short recap of 2025. Just some of the basic things that happened, a few moments that challenged me, and some turning points that shaped the year. I could have written so much more, but as I've mentioned, 2025 was quite hard and I don't really want to go back and relive every difficult memory. This page isn't about documenting everything, it's more about acknowledging the year and then letting it go. So one page really had to do the job here. After that, we move into the 2026 cover page. Just like the rest of this journal, it's very minimal. I'm not really into drawing, doodling, or using a lot of decorative elements like washi tapes, so my setups tend to be very simple and clean. That's just what works best for me and what I actually enjoy using throughout the year. One thing I always do is choose a color for each year. It's never a very specific shade or part of a theme, just a color that feels right or means something to me at the time. For 2026, I choose this bright green. To me, it feels fresh and hopeful and also grounding in a way. A couple of years ago, I also started choosing words for the year. These words aren't goals or resolutions. They're more like gentle reminders of what I want to focus on as the year unfolds. For 2026, I decided to keep it very simple with just one word: balance. I feel like that's something I really need more of in my life right now. So this is what my cover page looks like in the end. As I said, it's very basic, but I genuinely like it, and that's what matters to me. Flipping over to the next section. In previous years, I usually added a 2 or 4 page yearly calendar. In theory, this always seemed like a good idea, but in reality, I almost never used it. I ended up doing all my date-specific planning digitally instead. I like being able to set reminders and move things around easily and adjust plans when something changes. And that's digitally just way easier. So for 2026, I decided not to include a full yearly calendar view at all. Instead, I added a year at a glance. This way I still have a quick reference for days of the week, calendar weeks, national holidays, and things like that. It's especially helpful when I'm doing weekly planning or when I don't have my phone right next to me, which doesn't happen very often, but it does sometimes happen. Another thing I stopped doing is setting yearly goals. I noticed that I rarely look back at them and I almost never felt like I truly accomplished them anyway. Instead of forcing myself into a system that doesn't work for me, I decided to let that go. This year, I didn't want to waste time or space on something I know I won't use. Instead, I created this little bingo page for 2026. I realized in 2025 that I often forget what I actually did or experienced throughout the year, especially the small but meaningful moments. This bingo is a very low-pressure way to keep track of things I'd like to do, places I might want to go, or experiences I want to have, without turning them into obligations. Right now, there's not much filled in, and that's completely intentional. I want this page to evolve naturally over the year as ideas come to mind or opportunities show up. And that's pretty much for my 2026 setup. Let's quickly flip back through everything together. First, there's the very brief recap of 2025, followed by the 2026 cover page. Then we have the year at a glance with all the mini calendars. I marked weekends and national holidays in blue and the calendar week in gray, just to make everything easier to read at a glance. And finally, there's the bingo page with a few initial ideas and plenty of space left to fill in as the year goes on. So that's my 2026 setup. Very simple, very basic, and intentionally uncomplicated. And honestly, that feels exactly right for me right now. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe found some inspiration in keeping things simple. I wish you a calm and positive start to 2026, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.